Very good morning, students. In the previous class, we have done the registers and records maintained in housekeeping. We got a very clear-cut idea why to maintain these registers and what is the importance of maintaining all these registers. In continuation to that, today we are going to learn about few more registers and records which are maintained in housekeeping. And the first one is logbook. What is a logbook? A logbook is a book which is maintained to update the information shift to shift and by every supervisor. Now, logbook is a register. It's a hardbound 200 pages register which is followed by all the shifts and by all the supervisors. Except supervisors, nobody else. That means GRS are not supposed to have a look at those logbook. The supervisors will update operations which are maintained in the department from shift to shift. Example, supervisor, second and third floor supervisor. Second and third floor supervisor will write late service, refuse service, D&D and any other info. So late service, imagine second and third floor supervisor is Mr. Vinay. Mr. Vinay is the supervisor for second and third floor. Now LS, late service. What is late service? The guest has asked the housekeeping to come back after 4 o'clock because our shift will get over at 4 o'clock. Say 314. Right. Late is 5 minutes, late is 1 hour, late is 2 hours. So in the brackets, the information we got is 7 p.m. So that the afternoon shift people will follow that late 314. One houseman has to go to clean the room. Next, coming to refused service. RS stands for refuse service, which is nil. That means there is no guest who has denied housekeeping services for that day. Next one, coming to our D&D 204. D&D 204, no response. That means we all know that the D&D room should be contacted and guest did not give us any response till 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock the shift is getting over and that is the time the supervisor needs to update all this information in the logbook for the next shift supervisor to understand the previous shift information. Next, any other info. 204 is guest did not give us response. We did not enter into that room because it was D&D. That information has to be followed by this supervisor. And any other info, that means 211 extra bed given on request. So the afternoon shift supervisor will read all this floor information. Imagine I am the supervisor. So I will put my initial here to see that I have read all this information. This is called the acknowledgement of the information so that we know that all the supervisors have read the information. So this is called as the logbook. Logbook is the information updated in the register for the next shift supervisors to understand the previous shift operations. Now we are proceeding on to the second register that is maintained in housekeeping for today. Housekeeping Supervisor Checklist. Students, this is also one of the very important register that needs to be maintained in the housekeeping because room to room the supervisor is supposed to check almost 70 to 80 rooms in a day and that is how the supervisor needs to have this register for a disciplined checking of all the rooms because he or she needs to update the information which all guests the guest has spoken or any additional facilities given, etc. etc. And also if any major repairs are there while checking the rooms, that will be updated over here. What time the supervisor has checked the room also will be informed or updated in this register. Proceeding on to the third one, room occupancy report. Students, what is a room occupancy report? Room occupancy report is a report which is done by controlled as supervisor on submission of the floor occupancy report. Floor occupancy report is prepared by the GRS submitted to the desk, and the compilation of all the floor occupancy reports will be the consolidated room occupancy report. Now both goes hand in hand. Now floor occupancy report is prepared by GRA and room occupancy report is prepared by control desk supervisor. So imagine every hotel will have their own policy of making the floor occupancy report. In some hotels, the supervisors will take the physical occupancy of the report, and in some hotels, GRS will take the physical occupancy report. And now question is, how many times are we supposed to do? There are some hotels who does 3 times a day, and there are some hotels who does twice in a day. That is once in the morning shift and once in the afternoon shift. Then coming to the floor occupancy report is prepared by the GRS or the supervisors and given to the control desk supervisor. The control desk supervisor will make a consolidated room occupancy report by compiling all the floor occupancy reports and submit it to the front office department. Now, the next register that we maintain in the housekeeping department is lost and found register. The lost and found register is a very important register that needs to be maintained in the housekeeping department while the guest checks out of the hotel. What is lost and what is found? Lost is the either misplaced or forgotten items by the guest, and found by the hotel people. Now I am highlighting the point over here. It need not be housekeeping staff. It can be anyone in the hotel. Be it cloakrooms, be it banquets, be it restaurant, be it bar, be it swimming pool, be it rooms, be it corridor. So found by the hotel staff. But the custodian of all the storage of the lost and found items will be ultimately housekeeping department, and we name it as lost and found articles. So we need to maintain a document to update all these items, and that is why we are maintaining this register called as lost and found register. Now here we have date, description of the article, room number, finder, name of the guest, and what time the item is being found, and the necessary follow-ups. That means I have already explained to you in the previous classes what is the lost and found. The items are stored with us for 6 months. Then if the guest is not claiming the article, then we return it to the finder. Or if the guest is asking them to send it by courier, we will do the necessary formalities. So all these information will be updated in this, and we have a clear-cut record of all the information that we had been following will be updated in this register. So this is called as lost and found register. Okay students, a quick recap of once again what I have taught today. Logbook is a book which gives the information about the previous shift operations and update to the new coming shift supervisors. Housekeeping supervisor checklist is maintained by the floor supervisors of their respective floors for a quick update of all the checks that they have done. Then room occupancy report is a consolidated report submitted by the floor supervisors, and floor occupancy report is a report prepared by the GRS or supervisors based on the hotel policies, and it will be done. It is a physical check of all the rooms based on the number of packs, the status of the rooms, and updated in this register. Then the last one is lost and found register. Lost and found register is a register to update all the lost and found articles by the guest in various areas of the hotel. So this is called as lost and found register.
Well students, we have completed the topic of registers and records maintained in housekeeping. But I feel this is incomplete without showing you the actual formats maintained in the department. So we had requested the hotels to please share their formats, and the hotels were very kind enough to give us a copy of the formats that the department maintains. And I am showing you a picture of each format of whatever has been taught to you. So kindly relate to the teaching with this format so that it becomes much clear for you to understand.
So with this, I am completing the topic of revision of log records and registers maintained in housekeeping. Students, hope it's all clear. Be able to do the exams very well. Thank you.